When you think of a cheetah, this is probably the image that comes to mind.
Yes, cheetahs are the fastest land animal. Just because they can run extremely fast doesn't necessarily mean that they're always super high energy and running around their yards.
So what does a normal cheetah day look like?
Most of the time, they're all hanging out under a tree or watching the deer walk by.
Okay, noted. But if they are rarely active, how can you tell what these animals need?
Parts of our job as animal care specialists is to really pick up on each individual's specific routines and typical behaviors and habits. And even though cheetahs aren't the most active species, there's still a lot we can get out of just observing them day to day. And if I can gain a lot of information and knowledge on their typical behaviors, then I'll have an easier time picking out when they're acting or behaving abnormally.
Are there behaviors that go beyond health that you're watching for?
Some of the behavioral changes that we see are very subtle, like a female walking a little bit more confidently in her yard. That information would be helpful if we were looking to see if that female was an estrus for breeding purposes. From a conservation standpoint, it's important to take note on some of their behaviors because we like to see them mimic some of the behaviors that they would have in the wild, especially when it comes to mothers rearing their young, or sometimes when it comes to feeding. If we hand out a novelty item, you want them to take it and run as they would normally do in the wild. And everything that we're learning about behavior, it's still developing. We're still learning more and more. So every time a different facility comes into a problem or has some behavioral change that they don't really know how to handle or come at, we can all kind of come together and cohesively figure out what's the next move, what's the best way to solve this problem, or is this normal, is this abnormal?
With today being International Cheetah Day, please take some time to share something cheetah related. Let's start a conversation about the fastest and maybe the laziest land animal.